shirt. Shout out to Fashion Nova. Hey. All right, y'all. Welcome on Bite. Welcome on Bite. It's your girl, Clara Coleman, a.k.a. Natural Legalista. Welcome to my zone where we're breaking down stories from the headlines with a twist, which is just humor and gossip. The huge. Today's topic is Clara Don't Play Dat, the murder of David Harris. So it's some heavy stuff, but we're going to break it down with one of my good friends. So y'all know how I typically do the self-care tip of the week. I explained that to my guest here today. She said she actually wanted to do the self-care tip. So I was like, okay, girl, go for it. So without further ado, my friend Sabrina J, a.k.a. the DUI queen.
The DUI queen.
Not because she gets them, but because she...
I defeat them.
Come on, girl. All right, Sabrina.
All right, so like speaking of self-care, people sometimes, not all the time, will be like, oh, you have really nice skin, or like, how do you say so stress-free? And I'd be like, oh, you want to know the secret? And I'd be like, let no man take you for idiots. Which means, like, it's Caribbean, but it means, like, don't let anyone stress you out, especially men stress you out, because they don't need to be taking you for idiots.
That part. Now, you said you were Caribbean. Specifically, who can we give the shout-out to? What part of the Caribbean are you from?
My Guyanese people.
Hey, one time for the Guyanese people. I like that. What? One more time. What's the saying? Don't let
no man take you for idiots.
And you have to do...
For idiots.
For idiots.
Yes.
So, okay, I have something that can go along with that.
Okay.
There was this song by a guy that I think is Chris Brown, and I can't remember the other person's name, but part of the hook says, stop being friendly to the F-boys.
Yeah, that's part of that, yeah.
So we not going to let nobody take us for no idiots, and we not about to be friendly to no F-boys.
Especially the F-boys.
Especially them.
Especially the F-boys.
I think that your self-care tip this week is actually fitting for this case.
Okay.
But before it fits in perfectly.
For murder.
Fitting for murder.
I mean, I guess I can line up. It's like if you don't take someone, like if they can't take you for idiot, maybe because they're dead.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Sabrina, pull that mic a little closer to you.
All right.
Because we need to hear everything that you say.
Everything I say.
Yes, this is the wisdom zone here. Okay, but before we jump into the case, I'm going to introduce you real quick. Like,
okay.
All right. So, Sabrina, she is the co-owner of MC&J Law, where she handles criminal and business law. An interesting mix.
Well, the business law is mostly my law partner, Sean. I pretty much just do criminal law.
You're the criminal. Okay, that's smart to get a partner that does something else so y'all not always bumping heads or nothing like that.
I mean, they say diversify, right?
Come on, diversity? Come on. You are a former prosecutor turned defense attorney. Yes. And you you can't specialize in anything technically, but you handle a lot of DUI and drug cases.
I do. So when I was a prosecutor, I had a DUI docket for about a year or so, and I won a lot of awards being a DUI prosecutor.
Oh, man.
And I train law enforcement officers on DUI. I still do. I actually got a paid teacher role through one of the police academies.
So even as a DUI defense attorney now, you're still training police officers on what to look for when it comes to DUIs, and then you're still kicking them in the face in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Girl, you a boss.
I try.
Did I also mention as part of your bio that you're my friend? Because that's the most important part.
Obviously.
That's the most important part.
That's the only reason why I even should be here is because we're friends.
Exactly.
I have nothing else to offer.
It needs to be on your website. It needs to be on your website.
I should. I'd be like, if you only hire me for one thing, it's because I'm friends with Kyla.
That part.
The natural legalista.
That part. Come on. And we actually have a beach day planned this week, so I'm excited about that.
Me too.
I love our beach days. So funny story, me and you met when I was renting office space from an attorney here in town. You worked for that attorney at the time, but I only came in for client meetings, and then I would jet.
Girl, you would be in for 2 seconds, and then you'd be out the door. I'd be like, oh, hey, bye.
I will wave though. I will wave at you.
Yeah, you'd be like, bye. Deuces.
I was in and out. As soon as I could get back home and do work from bed, that's all I was trying to do.
I mean, fair enough.
But yeah, so then we reconnected, I think, a couple of years later or a year later at this business event. And then we just been hanging out ever since.
Yeah. It was funny how that happened, too, because we crossed paths and we were like, hold up.
You look familiar.
Why do you look familiar? And then when we realized, it was like, oh, shoot. We need to, actually, link up.
Hang and talk.
Yes. So glad that happened.
Yeah, man. That definitely was dope. So, Is there anything that you would like to add to your bio that I didn't include?
Other than we're friends, no.
Yeah, that's the most important part, like I said before. So I will be checking your email. Your website to just ensure. I'm checking your emails too to see what you're saying to these people.
I mean, you can go right ahead. I'm gonna have to subpoena me though.
Ooh, and we got a subpoena moment here today that I think she's gonna enjoy too, Phil. I think she's gonna enjoy that. Yes, because we're keeping with the Caribbean theme.
Oh,
yeah. All right.
So Caribbean theme and murder. Got it.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Wow. I ain't even mean to do it like that.
Watch out for the Caribbean women.
Baby. Yes. Okay. So we are going to play a news clip about Miss Clara.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So before we do that, just keep in mind, whenever you want to jump in, jump on in. All right. It's crazy. Let's go for it.
Let's see it.
The news clip.
Would have wanted him to die.
Tonight, this is the face of a woman who wanted to save her marriage, not destroy it. That's according to Clara Harris's parole attorney. By FaceTime, Kevin Stowie says so much of what happened in July 2002 has been misconstrued in the media.
For example, the location where this occurred was the site where David and Clara Harris had their wedding reception.
He says Clara tracked down her husband, David Harris, and his mistress to this hotel in Nassau Bay. The other woman had just been fired from their dental office as a receptionist for sleeping with the boss.
She thought David was going to go to his car, and instead he went to her car, and I think her vehicle was in a position where had she not hit him, he would have been blocking their vehicle from leaving.
A jury ultimately convicted Clara in 2003, sentencing her to 20 years in prison for running over David and killing him. Her lawyer says the former dentist has been a model inmate.
Once a month, her sons came to visit her in prison.
A family friend cared for the couple's twin sons. They're grown up and now in college. The wife who cared for the kids told me by phone today, we're very thankful that she's coming home and that her boys are going to be reunited.
Other than that 15 or 20 seconds of her life, she's somebody that people should look up to, not look down upon.
It's crazy. Like he just said, 15 to 20 seconds of her life, changed her entire life.
She hit him with a car.
She ran over him with a car.
Oof. I mean, was she reversing?
We're going to jump into that.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Man, I swear
look at that stupid ad.
It's okay. Well, we're not ready for that one anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to show Sabrina the evidence later.
Okay.
So just some background history on it. So this did happen in Texas in 2002. So as the news clip says, Clara, why do I want to call her Sarah? Clara was a dentist. She's from Colombia. She actually was a former beauty contestant.
Okay.
So she's dope. She was amazing. Her husband was an orthodontist. So the picture that you see on the screen here is actually Clara, David, and David's daughter from a different marriage named Lindsay.
It's 2021 now. You never know.
True. So David had a 16-year-old daughter at that time that was from a previous marriage that he had. And then Clara and David had 2 kids together.
Okay.
Bradley and Brian, they were twins. Look at them there. She looked... Oh, that's not her. That's her daughter. That's Lindsay. I thought that was her for a second. So it's Lindsay. No, you're right. It was Lindsay, David, the 2 boys, and then Clara was on the left-hand side of the screen.
Okay.
So they had been married 10 years before this event took place.
Okay.
In the married world, I think 10 years is pretty long.
It is pretty long. Was he an F-boy the whole time? Because I feel like does it tie into him being an F-boy?
Baby, I really do believe that Mr. David was an F-boy.
Okay.
And please excuse me to the family if y'all watch this, but I'm not going to pretend like David was the greatest character.
Okay.
Said he had a mistress, so.
Yeah, he did have a mistress.
And a mistress that worked for him.
A mistress that worked for him and that we know of.
Right. Because a lot of times the F-boys be having a whole bunch of other women out there.
Yeah, but sometimes they're not all that slick. So maybe, I don't know.
Well, obviously, if his wife caught him.
And it was a crazy way in which she caught him too.
Oh?
Yeah. Clara wasn't playing, okay? So at the time, they lived in a mansion. They had bank. They were in a practice together where she was a dentist. He was an orthodontist.
Like under the same business.
Yes.
And you had a mistress at the same business as your wife?
The mistress was the receptionist.
What an idiot.
Yeah. So Clara... Yeah, that part. Say it again, ma'am. That part. So Clara had actually convinced him to fire her. And then 8 days after he fired her, that's when Clara ran over him with the car. Because he still clearly was with her. All right. So basically, she had doubts of his fidelity, and someone in the business came up to her and was like, "Hey, your man's cheating," and the typical woman that doesn't
client said that
employee,
an employee,
yeah, it was like, "Hey,
Snitching.
David's been out there. Like, I just want to give you a heads up."
Okay.
And Clara was like, "I don't know if I believe you. I think you're just trying to break up our marriage," which I feel like is common sometimes when people find out somebody's cheating.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Cognitive dissonance.
Come on, big words. Yes.
I was like that. I was cheated on before, and I didn't believe it. I had evidence. I didn't believe it.
You even had evidence and you didn't believe it?
Yeah.
Phil, I just want to hug you. Why did they do that to you?
Bomba claps.
I mean, we'll get into that later, but yeah.
Well, they also let no woman take you for idiot. Also,
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
it goes
so-
both ways.
That part. And if somebody does do it, you let us know. We will roll up on them. Okay.
I can actually square up.
Baby, we can because you do jujitsu. I do boxing.
I didn't know that Kyla did that, and so now you do. I need to hire y'all as bodyguards.
Yeah, she's lethal. Listen, in this profession where we're doing criminal defense, we cannot not know how to protect ourselves.
And you got a bail bondsman friend too. She's she's scary.
We got this professional thing on lock. You hear me? And he's only scared of the bondswoman because she packs a taser and a gun at all times, as she should. So when Clara got this news from her employee about David cheating, she went and hired a private investigator, y'all.
Okay.
And then she confronted David about it. So at first David was like, "Nah, there is the receptionist that I'm talking to, but it's nothing sexual. Like, we just hold hands. We've just kissed once." And Clara's like, "What?" So
Wait.
yeah, we kiss once. We just hold hands.
We just only hold hands.
Yeah, that's all we do.
Oh.
So Clara was still enraged about that.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Dude, if you want to stay together with me, then you're going to have to tell your parents what happened. You're going to have to tell the pastor what happened, and we're going to work this marriage out." Okay. So she said that to him then. Then she went downstairs to talk to Lindsay, his daughter, and tell Lindsay what happened. And Lindsay was like, "Stepmom, I already knew this was going on." She was like, Gail is the mistress's name. That's a mistress name.
I already knew about
Gail. Yes. I feel like that's the perfect name for her. Anywho, so she was like, "Yeah, him and Gail go to lunch every day." So
how are you in the same business and married, living in the same house, and you didn't know your husband's going out having lunch with the receptionist every day?
I think that's because she's so engulfed in her actual work. She's not worried about effing employees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She really running the practice, and you out here sleeping with somebody. On top of that, so when she found that out from Lindsay, she went back upstairs, talked to David about what's going on, and that's when he confessed it was a sexual relationship. Not only that, but that him and Gail sleep together 3 times a day.
3 times a day?
3 times a day. How the hell are you running a practice?
Relationship? If he's boning receptionists 3 times a day, like, shouldn't that be something in a marriage? It's like, unless he was able to get it up multiple times like that in a day, like easily.
Either that, or it could have been a sexless marriage. Which I'm gonna be honest, that's the reason why I get scared of getting married sometimes, because people will be like, "Oh, I've been married and we only have sex like one time a week or a month, or we got to plan it out." If I got to do all that, why be married?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm single, so I have no idea. I have no basis to talk about that.
I'm just nervous about that. And I do divorces and stuff, and that's the number one people
that would make more sense to me. Not that it was a sexless marriage, but I mean, what do I know?
Yeah, I feel like that's what it was.
Only about murder. That's it.
Do you think since he was like a doctor, dentist, doctor, the arrogance that he had,
his
wife and his mistress in the same building?
Yeah.
That's definitely some F-boy stuff, right?
And doing it in front of her face and thinking that she's not going to find out. Like, you're low-key getting off on the fact that you're doing something sneaky in plain view.
That's some audacity.
That's some narcissism, yeah.
Yeah.
Narcissism is definitely the word. What does my mom say? The unmitigated gall or something. what does that even mean? The unmitigated gall of you to do something.
I guess it's just so much gall that like nothing can like tone it down.
But why would she say that to me at 5 years old? I don't even know what mitigated is. I don't even know. My mom just used to say stuff. I don't know. Why don't you
bring her on her and ask her yourself?
I'm going to have to, but I'm scared because she might use some other big words. So,
but do you think that since all the arrogance and stuff, do you think that, I'm not going to say he deserved to die, but do you think he kind of got what he deserved?
It was coming to him. That karma ain't no joke, bro. I feel bad, that he did die. But like I said before, it's circumstances that were behind it that kind of make you not like David that much.
I need to know, like, what actually happened.
That day.
I know that, like, she hit him with the car, but I want to know how that actually happened.
Oh, you want to see it?
I mean,
Yeah, we can go ahead and play. Wait, before you play it, let me put one more thing in.
Okay.
So Clara, that same day that she found out from her stepdaughter, Lindsay, that it really was a sexual relationship, she went back upstairs to talk to David and was like, dude, what is making you choose Gail over me?
The sex 3 times a day.
Right. So she decided to outdo Gail. She wanted to double the amount of sex. So that, I'm not good at math, but double of 3 is 6, right?
Yeah.
So that means that David is having sex 9 times a day if he's still having sex with Gail at the same time. 3 times a day with Gail and then 6 times with his wife. That's 9, right?
Is that even possible?
No.
I don't know no man that can do that, but hey,
I
if
mean-
you can, I don't want it. My mom's watching the podcast.
If you can, here's her Instagram.
Let me know something. I'm applying for people on the team, on my team of people. So yes.
Dude, let me know too.
But yeah. All right. So before we jump into this video real quick, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what happened.
Okay.
Basically, David said he was going to leave Gail. And so he said, I just want to break up with her in person. Can you just allow me the one time to break up with her in person? Clara, being the nice, wholesome woman that she was like, yeah, no problem. Lindsay ended up knowing the day that her dad was going to go break up with Gail and wanted to give support to her stepmom, was like, hey, I'm going to hang out with you all day. I'm going to be with you because I know this is a tough time. So what is her name? Clara told the private investigator, hey, David's supposed to be meeting with Gail at this time. Can you just go watch just to make sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to go? And an employee at the business that knew what was going on also had followed to make sure that David was doing the right thing and breaking up with Gail.
Spoiler alert, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Ah.
Somebody tipped Clara off and said, hey, they were supposed to be going to the restaurant, but they're actually going in the direction of the hotel. Yeah, the Hilton at that. And so just like the news clip said, that same Hilton that he was going to with Gail was the same place that him and Clara got married.
Breakup
which
sex.
is a slap in the, it could have been breakup sex.
Could have been.
So
Well, I mean, did he say he wanted to go eat? Because, I mean, it could go.
right, he just said a restaurant. He did not specify
What
what
he
he
would
would be dining. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, this is why she a lawyer. This is why she's a lawyer. So somebody tipped what's her name, Clara, off. She went to the hotel where they were, went inside, you know how we do in a rampage, like, where is he? Bring him downstairs, da da da. He wasn't downstairs nowhere. Lindsay, the daughter, called her dad and was like, hey, something's going on with the twins. We need you to come home.
Okay.
So Lindsay was the person that made him come downstairs. Clara saw them getting off the elevator together and started to F some stuff up. She lunged for Gail, was about to start fighting her. Security came, kicked them out of the hotel. And then that's where we get this video from the Hilton.
All right.
All right, now you got to remember a little bit of context here. This is in 2002.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Our video footage is not as good as what it would be now.
there's no sound. But
Yeah, no sound.
I love these grainy videos.
so she's doing donuts over his body.
I think it's a repeated video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But essentially, that's what she's doing.
She bent the corner.
Swerve.
Dunk, dunk.
Yep.
Swerve.
Man. That's crazy. So what you think about the video? Because I think she got some decent handling skills for the car, driving skills.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's doing donuts. Or no, that was just a video.
Yeah,
I mean,
on the-
like,
Well, let me ask y'all something. This is a personal question. Have either of y'all ever been cheated on?
mm-hmm.
I have,
Yes.
but I did not know during the time. I found out after, but then kind of looking at stuff, I was like, oh, this lines up.
And so like that pure emotion when you realize what's going on, can you even think rationally?
I don't think so.
I am a very cold and calculated person sometimes.
So would you do
Ooh.
something like that?
No,
Are you the person that like would break their windows or?
no, because when I was cheated on, I was studying for the bar. So I had like all this criminal law knowledge under my belt. So I was like, I can't do anything that will like jeopardize my future bar license. But I'm a very like talkative, vivacious, bubbly person normally. And then I just got like super quiet. And I was just like, you just lost the best thing that ever happened to you. Get out. And I think that like just sent like this chill down his spine. And he
Yeah.
wasn't even ready for me to be like, bye, get out.
I'm gonna tell you something. When Sabrina is quiet, it's scary.
Really?
Yeah, she
Mhm.
has a cat that actually behaves like her, The cat cussed me out last night. I went over to Sabrina's house to hang out with her. The cat was mad, I guess, because I hadn't come to the house in a while, and she meowed at me, like cussing me out in Guyanese. The cat did.
Because Carla had this unmitigated gall.
Ah, there it is. There it is. The cat could sense it.
But when that cat got quiet and stopped cussing me out, I was like, I am scared of what's gonna happen. So yeah, she's just like Sabrina.
Yeah, when I get quiet, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
bad.
Because you can see the wheels turning, but you're like, what's going on up there?
Yeah, so I personally wouldn't, because I'm also like, the best revenge is like my success. So
Come on.
I didn't want to be like, oh, let me just react in like the moment. Like, let me just, you do me. Not that you do you, I do me. And, best of luck to you, but you're never going to get as good as me.
Ever. Because you're not going to take her for idiot.
Yeah, no one's going to take me for idiot. But I understand how some people get into this situation. I have plenty of cases where that's happened, where it's like people get so caught up in the heat of the moment where they just react and they don't think about what they're doing.
Hence the show Snapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could see that happening, especially now that we're talking more about like mental health and and being more self-aware and attuned with how we're feeling. Like if you're like on the verge of like just losing it, I could see like a moment where you're just like, I'm so done, I'm so over it, like it's forget it, like I'm just gonna do something so drastic without thinking about the consequence. I've had cases like that where that's happened.
Yeah.
Now taking back to the case here, both of you guys work in criminal defense. Is this something that's could be used? This wouldn't be considered first degree murder, right? This would be like a second degree.
I think that's up to question, actually, because
she did have time to kind of calculate a plan by driving to Hilton.
She had a private investigator. She knew about the cheating. She knew about where he was going to be and had people looking out for her.
And let's talk about that. So the difference between first degree and anything else is that it's premeditated.
Yeah. So premeditation versus like no premeditation. But the thing is that premeditation can be like an instant.
Second. Yeah.
So even like in the hotel room, like let's say she saw them walking out of the elevator in that moment, that she had like even the intent to kill him in that moment, that would be enough for first degree murder. But I think that's what you are. That's why you hire a defense attorney.
Yeah, you do.
So what she get charged with?
She got charged with first degree murder.
Was she found guilty of first degree murder?
She was.
Yeah. See, like, I feel like if she just saw it happen and it was like, oh my God, my husband's cheating on me with the receptionist, and then in that moment she just runs him over. Like, if it was all like back to back to back to back, then that's one thing.
Because it's one series of events.
Yeah, it's like one singular episode of things. But like she had how much time did she give him? To, like,
it was 8 days. It was 8 days between the day he said he would break up with Gail when she found out about the cheating to the time that he died.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like homicide is just a killing of a person with the intent to kill that person. And then the first degree homicide is the premeditation to kill that person. So like you can understand why somebody would kill another person.
Yeah.
Especially under these circumstances. But it's like what the state would have to prove is that did she intend to kill him? Was there premeditation? Right. And then if you meet those two things, at least if I'm remembering the elements correctly, then yeah, like we can sympathize with her all day.
Yeah.
But
one thing that really caught my attention in law school was when we started talking about murders that occur between spouses. Because if you're catching a person in the moment that they're having sex with a mistress or somebody else, like you're really in the heat of the moment at that point. Yeah. And I can't remember the term, if that's justifiable homicide or not, or maybe a mitigating factor if it happens in that moment or not. But
I think it makes it a second degree murder.
Yeah, I think it jumps down to, because it is heat of the moment.
So like it's still homicide at the end of the day, but then like the sentencing changes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, the more and more that I look at this case, the more I'm like, damn, man, I really feel for Clara in this, because that's love. I mean, you wouldn't kill nobody that you didn't kill nobody like that if you weren't passionate about them in some kind of way.
Well, I think even like the manner of killing shows that she was passionate about it. Like you have to like really feel angry to hit somebody with your car and like run over them with your car.
So here's the thing. Her defense team basically was saying that she drove towards the SUV that Gail and David were walking to with the intent to stop them from leaving, not with the intent to hit the car or hit a person. So basically she said she was really enraged because David went with Gail and not with her. So she jumped in the car, saw where they were going, drove, and was like, dang, I'm about to hit that car. So she swerved, not knowing that David was standing on the outside of the car. So she said when she swerved and hit, she felt the car become airborne. And she thought, you know, I hit the curb or something like that. She didn't realize she hit David.
Oh, she didn't even know she hit him.
No, she got out of the car immediately.
Okay.
That's what the defense was presenting, because I don't believe she testified in this case. But that's what the defense presented, which I think is plausible, because when you look at the video, okay, you can see that. However, the prosecution spun it as, one, she was upset, mad, had, like you said, hired a private investigator, already knew what she wanted to do, and just took it out on him.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, if she was so in the moment where she wasn't looking at who's where, and it's just like, I see the car, all I see is the car, I'm not sure like where the actual people are. Okay. But I don't know. Like,
it's one of those close calls.
Yeah, it's one of those things, just like you have to know where everyone was standing. Like, would she have, like, I guess the reasonableness of it. Like, would it be reasonable for her to think, like, oh, there's a person there? Would it be reasonable for her to think, like, people are in the car? Like, oh, I'm just going to go stop the car. Like,
right.
And honestly, it'd be kind of weird to intently hit somebody with the side of your car.
Right. Because that's really hard to do.
Because you can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally when someone's going to run you over, they're going to try to hit you head on. But she was turning. You know what I'm saying? So,
or she wanted to hit him head on and then had second thoughts, tried to swerve out of the way, and then still killed him.
Which do you
think she should look like an accident?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So do you think that she had the appropriate amount of time she served? Or do you think she even should have served at all?
I think so. So the amount of time she got was 20 years, but then she ended up being able to get out for parole after 15.
Oof.
Yeah. So I honestly think that if her theory is actually correct, that she did not try to kill him and it just actually happened, that is an appropriate amount of time.
That it is inappropriate?
That it is.
Okay.
I think that she served her time. As the video clip said, she has been a model citizen while she was in prison, even not knowing that she would get out after 15 years. A lot of people get in prison and they're like, man, whatever, I'm going to be in here for the rest of my life.
Right,
I'm just going to go. She was 60 at the time she was released, and she'll be off for parole in 2023, I believe is what it was.
Especially people at that age when they're going to prison. It's like, for somebody that age, it's like a death sentence.
Yeah.
Almost like,
yeah.
I've had that.
And then when you're in prison, not a lot of people realize that your life expectancy actually goes down. It's diminished because of the conditions that you live in. So you're not even guaranteed to do 2, 5, 10 years and make it.
And that on top of that, it's like she had so much to lose.
Yeah.
So she probably lost her dentistry license.
She did.
She lost her business. She lost her kids for 15 years, or at the time that she was sentenced, 20 years. Like that, I can only imagine how depressing that would be.
Yeah.
To like find out that your husband's cheating on you with the receptionist, get so emotionally bogged down and drained and angry and all the things that like follow up with that, to then commit this crime for like, what was it, like 15, 20 seconds of her life?
Yeah.
So like 15, 20 seconds turned into 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, come on. This is why she a lawyer. You done tied it all together. Y'all, but I do have something to tell you about this case that really was upsetting though. So you guys remember Lindsay was chilling with her stepmom the whole day as a support, right? Lindsay was in the car when she ran over David.
Oh no.
Yeah. Lindsay still to this day has not forgiven her stepmom. And she was like, I'm tired of her. Cause she's done interviews like with Oprah and different things like that. And she was like, I'm sick of her doing interviews and talking about this. She was like, I will never forget what it felt, what I saw when my dad realized that he was about to be run over with the car. And I will never forget what it felt like to feel driving over my dad, like driving over this body.
Yeah. Well, because I probably felt like for her, like she's the one who told her dad to come downstairs in the first place.
Yeah.
She was the one who like called him and be like, hey, like here's this ruse to get you out of the hotel room. People are looking for you, for it to end up with him dying at the end.
Like this.
Did they try and charge her too for something?
No, and Lindsay was 16, so she couldn't be an accessory or anything like that. And I don't think she had the intent to help her stepmom commit a crime. I think she just wanted peace. Like they literally inserted a 16-year-old into business that she shouldn't have been inserted into.
Yeah,
so tragic.
It's tragic and traumatic. Like,
it is.
Oof.
And at the time, they're twins. Brian and Bradley is what I think it was. They were 3 years old, so they are now grown and they've forgiven their mom. It's just nice. Yeah. And I want to say they testified at the parole hearing that they had forgiven her and that they did want her to be able to come out so that they could actually have a relationship with their mom. So the only conditions that she has on parole are actually the usual conditions, which is drug and alcohol screens regularly. She can't contact the former husband's family, and she also has to wear an ankle monitor. So
that's not too
but
bad.
she's only going to be on that until 2023, and then after that,
it's like what was the maximum sentence for that? Do you know? Like, was 20 years the maximum?
I don't think it was, because it was first degree.
I guess it would be life for that.
Yeah, it would be life, but yeah. And then remember that this is in Texas, so their laws are a little bit different than ours. But
Texas, the death penalty.
Right, Texas be killing people.
Texas be doing all sorts of wildness.
But so does Florida, because we still got Old Sparky. You can choose if you want to be electrocuted.
For real?
Yeah, Florida still has death penalty.
No, like Old Sparky.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the electric chair on the Green Mile was modeled after what we have in Florida.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm serious. Old Sparky. I've been to I think it's at the prison down in Stark, Florida, because we had to go there for our criminal defense clinic and law school. And
that's sweet.
Yeah. It's good for us, right? But that sounds so morbid, right? We went on death row, and Old Sparky, I think they were cleaning it at the time, so we couldn't go and see. Yeah, that they were preparing somebody for death at that time, so we did go on death row. But yeah, in Florida, you have the option to choose whether you want to do. Well, I was about to say in vitro fertilization. That is not the name of it.
That's what I would like.
Lethal injection.
The opposite effect.
Yes, lethal injection or Old Sparky.
Why would you choose that?
Some people are sadistic. Some people want to feel pain as they're going out. They're like, this is the last time I'm going to ever feel pain. I might as well go out with a spark.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't make up that. I don't know.
What would you choose? The firing squad, gas chamber?
We don't have firing
lethal,
squad
Well,
here.
I'm just saying. What they do in Guyana.
Oh, my God. Okay, I could not do that.
Firing squad, lethal injection, gas chamber, or Sparky? What would you choose?
I would choose lethal.
I think I would choose a lethal injection too.
Because then you don't have to feel anything. I don't think you feel anything, do you?
Yeah, you do.
I thought they sedate you first, because that would be like, I don't know.
All of it is
cruel and unusual. Yeah. The irony of the law.
I don't know.
I would choose the firing squad.
Why?
One quick bullet. Done.
But it's a whole bunch of bullets coming.
No. Firing squad, only one person has the bullet.
So you hearing all of these gunshots go off and only one bullet is going to hit you?
Yeah, only everybody else has blanks except one person. And those people don't know who has what.
That makes sense for them, so that they're not carrying it in their spirit that they had the bullet that killed.
Yeah. So the firing squad, only one person has a bullet.
Huh. Oh, the mental mind that can do to somebody. But
Who would want that job?
But then if you don't die, there's a possibility that you don't get killed.
Yeah,
and then you can live.
I mean,
they can't kill you twice. They can't give you the death penalty twice. You're done after that. Like you can go free after that.
I know we're getting off topic here, but there was a guy who died from lethal injection, but came back, and I think he's trying to fight that he already died. So my sentence has been carried out.
I don't know if you guys watched Game of Thrones or not, but it was like the whole Jon Snow storyline.
Oh,
It's
no.
like, well, I've already. Oh, really?
He already died.
I'm not trying. I guess is this a
Spoiler
spoiler?
alert.
Yeah, I
Is this a
guess
spoiler
Sabrina's
at
coming
this
on here
point?
spoiling stuff.
It's been,
throw the whole
It's
podcast
been
away.
years.
3
If you
years.
haven't watched it now,
I was planning on watching tonight, but whatever.
don't lie. Don't take me for the idiot.
But what happened to Jon Snow? So he died and didn't die?
The idea is that he was sent to the Wall to be a part of the Night's Watch, and the idea is that you serve until you die. So he dies, but it's based on like magic and all that. So that he dies and was brought back to life, and the idea is that he's already served.
So I'm done.
Right.
I'm out this big.
Yeah, but I have a lot of opinions on this, and it will like really.
That's a whole
distract.
nother
It's a whole
podcast.
other podcast. I can't get into it now.
That's good to know. Okay, we're going to ask Sabrina one question, and then we're going to jump into this big subpoena moment. Okay, so the one question I want to know is, what has your wildest case been so far?
My wildest case.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I was a prosecutor.
Oh, babe.
I was doing the drugs docket at this point. And this particular defendant was dealing, probably trafficking. I don't remember how much drugs he had, but he had a bunch of drugs in his car. And he ends up getting pulled over by the police. And as he was getting pulled over by the police, he crashes his car, runs out of the car, and is by like a Walmart in like a neighborhood area. He steals a golf cart to continue fleeing from the police.
I'm not about to deal with this. This is Florida, right?
Yeah, of course. This is
Florida.
in Orlando.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. And what was terrible about this is that the drugs he was selling wasn't. So I think he was trying to sell methamphetamine, if I'm remembering correctly, but the drugs came back as a mix of cocaine, methamphetamine, fentanyl.
Oh my God. That's a deadly combination.
The fentanyl alone is a deadly compound.
Yeah.
Like, it's just done. So fentanyl is a transdermic drug, and like it needs like a little tiny bit to cause you to overdose. So it's so lethal that courtrooms keep Narcan for the attorneys,
just in
the
case.
judges, the bailiffs, anyone, like, because a slight touch could kill you. Like touch, you don't even have to inhale it, taste it, inject it. It can touch your skin, and you can overdose immediately.
Oh my God.
So, like, imagine people who are using meth or using cocaine and they're trying to smoke it or however they want to consume it, and it has fentanyl and it's going straight into their bloodstream.
Oh my God.
Or straight into, like, their brain.
Yeah.
So
what did they stop the golf cart?
yeah, they ended up arresting him that day because, I mean, how do you flee on a golf cart?
It's giving me OJ vibes, like a very slow chase.
So-
All right, he's going 6 miles an hour.
Right? Yeah, but I actually didn't finish that case. I ended up getting promoted out of that docket, and I don't know what happened, but that was like, I had another case actually where I also didn't see how it resolved. My friend Jean actually took over my docket for this, but she was also trying to get away from the police, and she had a knife. It was a pocket knife that she stowed away in her vagina. And you
They
had, like,
always
this,
be hiding stuff in vaginas.
yeah, like, pro tip, everybody, don't hide contraband in your cavities. Just don't do it. Just don't do
We'll
it.
search it.
Yeah, and so she got a introduction of contraband into
A facility.
Yeah, you see this X-ray of, like, her body.
In the
Then-
vagina.
Yeah.
Have we ever said vagina on this show yet?
I think we said it 4 times now.
Exactly.
The first time for everything.
All right.
I cannot.
Oh, and the best part about this case is that Gene took over my docket. He's one of, like, my best friends. And every case we leave, like, a synopsis for a factual basis. So, like, when a case pleads out, the state usually announces a factual basis as to why the court can find why somebody should plead to a charge. And so I left a note saying that she wasn't, like, in actual possession. It was, like, on her, like, in her person. As a,
Not on her person, in
Yeah.
her person.
So Gene almost read that on the record.
So you almost got him in trouble. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I can't.
It's one of my best moments.
You know what? I can't. Speaking of vaginas, we're going to go into this big subpoena moment.
All right.
Look at the screen there. Don't I look serious?
You do.
Yes. So this big subpoena moment is typically where I'm going off on people that I feel are doing some just crazy mess or something that really makes me mad.
Okay.
And the person that's really making me mad lately is Nicki Minaj. You know what's going on with your girl?
Oh, with the swollen testicles or something?
Yes. So let's actually put up the tweet if we can. There's a picture of her with the tweet. And I will try my hardest to read the tweet.
I have the other one. I just had the one.
You only had the one picture?
The response.
Oh, wait.
That's the only
It's
one that-
another picture that I sent. Hold on, because I want to read the exact tweet here. It was a wild story.
I'll find it.
Okay.
It's something about the vaccine, though, right?
Yes. Some mess she done made up. You see it?
Cousin in Trinidad one?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah, she's Trini.
Right. So I was saying, keeping with the
Caribbean
theme.
theme.
Yeah. So it says, my cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. So the people of Trinidad took that tweet very serious and investigated it because nobody wants people to have swollen testicles walking around from a
man, like,
vaccine.
how are you going to get with the receptionist 3 times a day if you have swollen testicles?
Exactly. See how she bringing the case on back around? So let's see
Oh,
what
really? Like, that's just unreasonable.
exactly. So let's see what Trinidad saying about this.
One of the reasons we could not respond yesterday in real time to Miss Minaj is that we had to check and make sure that what she was claiming was either true or false. And unfortunately, we
laughing?
wasted
Yes.
so much time yesterday running down this false claim. It is, as far as we know, at this point in time, there has been no such reported either side effect or adverse
He's really
event.
trying to hold it
He's
together.
really trying.
And what was sad about this is that it wasted our time yesterday trying to track down, because we take all these claims seriously, whether it's on social media or mainstream media.
See, he's feeling like she took key for idiot.
Yeah.
That's how
See?
that's
what she did.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I feel in my spirit is that somebody is going to come forward and pretend to be the friend of the cousin that told Nikki this story. But they're going to have to find some kind of way to like make the testicles swollen and make it seem as if it's true.
But it's like, how do you... Okay. So like, dude has swollen testicles. How do you know that it was like from the vaccine, or like he didn't have like a previous condition of swollen
Exactly.
testicles?
And that's why the girl called the wedding off, is because he probably had a mistress and was cheating and his testicles swollen.
And I mean, he's from Trinidad. That's a legitimate thing.
Is that what Trinidadian men are known for?
Guyanese too.
Oh.
You know, Caribbean men, like some, you know, there's this concept.
I found it.
What'd you find? Oh my
Oh,
God.
the ad got me.
Well, it was a South Park episode where a man had swollen testicles, it looks like.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
there
they
you
call
go.
Horner men.
Oh, what are they called?
Horner men.
Oh. And what does this mean?
That's like they just hoeing. Oh, sorry. Can I say that?
You can say that.
Oh,
We
you
done talked about vaginas, testicles, all of them things. You can say what you need to say.
Because they be hoeing around.
Oh, man.
Horner
So that's
man.
what happened. Yeah, that woman left him because of that.
I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons why she left him. But I don't think it was the swollen balls.
Me either. Here's what I hate is if you don't want to take the vaccine, just don't take it, bro. But don't go out here just spilling mistruth just because you don't want to take it. If you don't want to do your research and you just don't want to take the vaccine, be straight up.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't come up with these theories, because Trinidad will actually investigate and will call you out on your stuff.
and be upset that you wasted their time.
Yes. Taking people for idiots.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anywho, so we're going to head and we're going to wrap up,
All right.
Sabrina. But before we do that,
Wrap
how
up
can the
and
people
wrap it
find...
up.
Wrap up and wrap it up. You better. How can the people find you? Where can they find your beautiful face?
Well, you can find me on Instagram with MC&J Lawyers with an S at the end. And then my Facebook is my first name and my last name, Sabrina Jadunandan. It's long. Find me on Instagram.
Ooh.
Before I have to spell out my last name. I have to do this too many times on the record. I'm done.
Yeah. Lawyer life. And as you guys already know, y'all can find me on the internets. If you want to actually have a case with me, then you would just go to colemanlaw.net. However, if you want to hang out with me and just shoot the breeze, you can find me on Instagram at Kai_LYFE, Kai Life, or you can find me at Kyla A. Coleman. And I'm really silly on Facebook, so don't take me seriously on there.
Facebook is amazing.
Thank you.
Facebook gives me life.
I have fun and I hang out. Well, we're going to have the music take us on out. It was a great episode with vaginas, with testicles. Hey, y'all wrap up out there.
Testicles. Bomba cut.